quick disclaimer, English is not my first language, so if I make mistakes, please bear with me. I hope it's part of the charm, right? Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Lucy and today's video is something I've been so excited to film. It's a journal with me, where I set up my brand new journal for 2025. I'll also be sharing some tips on how to start journaling and to stay consistent, and as a little bonus, I'll tell you a bit more about myself so you can get to know me better. Before we dive into the new journal, let's take a quick look at my old one. This is actually my third journal since I started journaling. I've captured so many memories and ideas in here, it's like a little time capsule of my life. Now there are only the last 3 blank pages, so it's time to start fresh with my new journal. My brother got me this notebook a few days ago. It's nothing fancy, but it's perfect for me. It has a hardcover and it's a lined notebook. Here, sure, I can give you my first tip. To start journaling, you need nothing more than a random notebook and a pen. I've already done an ink test to understand how this paper works, so I have no surprises as I write in it. Said so, let's start by setting up the first few pages. The very first page is an About Me page. I'm writing some basic information about myself, like my name, the journal's number, when I started this journal and when I'll finish it. I like to keep my journal very simple and minimal because I use it mainly for writing my thoughts. Now let's talk about how to be consistent. I've started my first journal 4 or 5 years ago, and from that moment I have never stopped writing. But I haven't always been consistent, and I know it can be hard to make it a habit, but here are 2 tips that worked for me. First is keep it simple. Don't try to do too much. A few minutes a day is enough to build the habit. The second tip is to make it enjoyable. Use pens or stickers you love, or even light a candle while you write. Little things like that make it feel special, or at least it helped me, since I have a passion for stationery. And remember, it's okay to miss a day or even a month. Journaling isn't about being perfect, it's about showing up for yourself when you can. For other journaling tips, wait until the end of the video. On the next page, I always like to write a sentence that inspires me, as if it were a sort of good resolution for the new diary. In this case, I'm writing, "It doesn't matter what's been written in your story so far, it's how you fill up the rest of the pages that counts." This definitely sets the mood for the journal. With this video, I wanted to seize the opportunity and tell you something about me, so you get to know me better. I'm Italian and I'm currently a veterinary student and I study far from home. This has been a challenging journey, in fact, moving to a new city, balancing my studies and trying to make time for myself hasn't always been easy, but this is my dream and I still love it. Obviously, journaling has been my constant companion through it all. The next 2 pages will be my index. This is where I'll keep track of what's in the journal as I fill it out. It's super helpful for finding things later, especially if you like to write about a lot of different topics and experiences like me. I've decided to open this channel almost a year ago. I was having a hard time and I needed to do something that made me feel better, and I can definitely say that it works. For this reason, I really wanted to thank each one of you guys. You have no idea how much I'm grateful. Next, this time I'm trying something new, a page where I'm writing about who I am right now. In fact, when I write, I often like to think that I'm talking to my future self, so this is kind of like a snapshot of myself at this moment in time. I think it will be really interesting to look back on this page in the future and see how much has changed. I also wanted to ask you, what do you do to feel better? What are your hobbies? Mine are reading, playing the piano, drawing, playing The Sims, and of course, journaling. The next page is my 2025 goals, where I'll write down my main goals for the year. I actually like to keep it simple and write only few things because I don't want to get stressed with so many unachievable goals. It has already happened to me a few years ago. I exaggerated with my goals and ended up feeling a failure for not achieving all of them, so I learned my lesson and now I focus only on the main things and the very important things that I want to do. In fact, I'm trying to get out of a difficult period of my life, so I want to focus on the most basic things for now. I always loved animals. For the longest time in my childhood, sadly, I only had fish in a bowl. Then I convinced my parents to get a little rabbit. His name was Tito, and after that things got a little out of hand because now we have 3 cats and 3 dogs. Unfortunately, I had to move out for university, so they stayed at home with my parents and I miss them so much. Actually, I feel very lucky because when I moved out, I had the possibility to bring one of my dogs with me. You probably have already seen her in my other videos. Her name is Thea. At the bottom of the page I'm writing what did I achieve this year, and I want to fill it up at the end of 2025 to see my progresses throughout the year. About Thea, she's an 11 years old mixed breed and she's the sweetest, funniest companion I could ever ask for. She's always by my side, she is even now, keeping me company while I study, while I go to attend lectures, or even when I go to the cinema. One time she also came with me during an hospital shift, and we always joke that when I'll graduate they will probably give her a degree too. Honestly, she's a big reason I stay grounded and happy during the more stressful times. Now for one of my favorite parts, adding motivational phrases. I like to randomly write down quotes or encouraging words throughout the journal. That way, when I get to those pages later, it feels like a little surprise for me. The most shocking thing is that almost every time I write the right quote for the right day, as if it were on purpose, but how you can see it's totally random. Sometimes I feel the need to write, but I don't actually know what to talk about. If you are like me, these are some things you can do to find inspiration. First, start describing where you are now and what have you done today or what you still have to do, and see where it brings. Then you can write what are you feeling right now and ask yourself why are you feeling that way. Write 3 things you are grateful for. You can create also a vision board or write a letter for your future self. You can also describe how would it be your perfect day. The list could be infinite, but these are the main things I do when I don't have inspiration. Here is a quick flip through, and after that I'll proceed to decorate the cover. I cut this drawing out of a gift wrapping paper a few weeks ago because I knew I would use them somehow, so I recycled them instead of throwing away the remains of the wrapping paper. I know that everyone has a different way of journaling. In fact, I'm curious to know how do you do it and if it actually helps you. I know for a fact that it helps me a lot, so feel free to write down in the comments so we can exchange our thoughts about it. And if you have any questions about anything, don't be shy and write down in the comments. I'll be more than happy to reply. Alright, my journal is officially ready for 2025. I can't wait to start filling it with my memories, and if you've been thinking about starting a journal, this is your sign to go for it. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. Until next time, happy journaling!